What's going on, everybody? I'm back. Deck Profile, A Golf Regional. I'm here with Mr.
Michael Kahlo.
And congrats, you finished what place?
Second place.
Second place at the A Golf Regional Age of Overlord here at Cool Stuff Games Hollywood. What'd you play and how'd you feel with the deck?
I played Infernoble. Kind of won dice roll 50-50. It was pretty good. Timing my hand traps right. But, lost the tier elements because they milled crazy and Nibs is a strong card.
That's true. All right, before we get into the list, any shout outs?
Shout outs to Frank staying up with me.
Oh, that's Hani. Hani's over here.
Frank staying up with me all night practicing. Shout out to Frank. But other than that, yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, so that's normal summon in deck. Lets you play around Droll. Lets you mill. Really important normal summon. That's why you're running at 3. Obviously, that's the real best normal summon outside of the main deck monsters is Connector. A lot of hand traps in this format. It's going to let you play around those hand traps really nicely and put an extra body on board so you can link climb. So those are the normal summons. And then your main extender in the deck is going to be Renaud. Lets you do craziness with the graveyard. Has a big play into grabbing, equips anything you want from the grave. And it lets you play around Niv if you want to take that route using Ogier. But that's him. Oliver is your second best extender. Run him at 2. You really don't want to brick on him, but he becomes a level 1 tuner.
This is the true best card.
He can trigger a lot on the field, depending on what you take off the field. And then Fireflame. These are your one-ofs. Mainly just extenders. They all extend, whether it be from graveyard, hand, graveyard. He can make an extension from the hand or the graveyard. And she lets you draw one every single turn. And he's a free 2,000 body to extend. And it comes up where you need to hard make Charles with him and Oliver if you can't, extend in any other way. And then the main deck Moss Monster is Gearfried. I cut him down to 1. He comes up every game. It lets you play around, happy My Friend Pearly by equipping their cats to you so they don't trigger. Things that can't be targeted, it lets you equip them during the damage step, and things can't negate during the damage step, so it just comes up really well. I had him at 2 for the longest because he's so crucial, and he lets you make your Baron. But other than that, best boss monster in the main deck. And then this is a new package I did just to basically win more.
Fire recovery.
Yeah. It's just a win more package to let you extend after a hand trap. This came up a lot, especially when you get hand trapped and you actually want to just end with links and Baguska. You can just land on 3 links and Baguska and try and play the game, and usually they can't do that because your deck is really weak to monster effects on the board. So this kind of covers it, and the extra deck covers it as well. And then fire recovery, again, you can bring back your boss monster, and more importantly, it lets you draw by shuffling back 3, and it lets you shuffle back your extra deck monsters as well. So, really good for recovery and recursion. And the main searchers in the deck, I didn't want to pay into Joel too hard, so I just ran this card at 2 and just counted this as my 3rd copy, basically. That worked out well. I only drew this card once, and I still made a board with it. Other than that, just remembering that you can grab stuff from grave, pay him up a lot, and it lets you grab even the field spell. So if you know you can extend really hard, and you're not concerned with Droll, you can just extend really hard with this because it adds back from grave. Obviously, Called By and 2 Talents. One of the best staples in the deck right now. And Called By is just an amazing card. And then you get all your equip spells. I run 7. Some people say run 6. I just can't, when it comes to the reason I would say to run the 7 is because When it comes to that follow-up play, if you only run 6, it turns off your field spell. So running 7 keeps your field spell live for follow-up. But other than that, you know, Searcher, add back from Grave. This extends with this into Appaloosa, and this can become any other equip in Grave or for deck. So it's like you're running 3 copies of Durandal just by running 1 Out Mason. And then this card, the reason I have this in the main is because it stops so many card effects. You can't do Monster Born, you can't do a lot of things when he equips that during the end phase. So it's just broken against most decks generically.
This is the first year it takes this game seriously. It's the first year it takes it seriously.
2 field spell, even though it's it doesn't make sense to run 3 because it can be searched by the Heritage. Running it at 2 feels perfect because, again, Heritage adds it back from Grave. Malgus can shuffle it back, and you're never going to have a way to not have a field spell. And 2 Imperm, 3 Ash. Just because I thought Ash was more impactful because everybody was dodging Imperm like crazy. So Ash actually was way more impactful for me this format, right now at least. And I just keep, you know, an extra one on the side.
How many cards is that in the main?
And the main is 42.
Okay.
And that's just mainly for siding, so I can actually side off there. 3 Joel on the side, Vanadium's a deck. Shuts him down a lot. 2 Nib. I would play a 3rd, but it's just, I don't like seeing it 2 times in hand. You can't afford it. It hurts. And then a Thrust package after that. I like Dark Hole, it's fun. And it was a nice thrust package. Came up today to beat Rescue Ace. You know, I had access to this and this just because I ran the thrust package, and that was enough to kind of close out the game there.
Because you do have to submit it.
But you do struggle going second, so it helps a lot. And then I was really worried about Rescue Ace, so I just added 2 more of these.
Anti-magic arrows.
It didn't come up today, but it came up the last time I played Rescue Ace. It shuts down the back row real quick, and dealing with the monsters with any other thrust package kind of makes it a lot easier. As long as they don't have a Little Knight, it's a lot easier to deal with the monsters with your thrust package. And then 1 Angel Ring for Super Poly, and for Dark Ruler came up yesterday, not today. And then 1 Imperm, just to match up the 3rd if Imperm is going to be more impactful for your matchup.
No extra deck?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, extra deck. A lot of flex spots. I kind of went for King Dempsey and Zeus from XYZs. If you can't make the Apo, because I thought it was going to be. I thought the Crow was going to be much more prevalent. That's why I wanted to bring in Maguska, because if you Crow me at the right time, I can't make Appaloosa. So that's why I had the extension package to go into Maguska to handle monster effects on field. And then Zeus, or you take any XYZ, or if you just turn 2 into him or him. And he's a great extension. If you get stopped and you need an extra nod, he can grab any level 4 from deck on summon. And then Baron, because you can incorporate it with end board if you open Oliver. The rest of the synchros for the main. I run 2 Angelica, 1 Renaud, 1. I never needed more because Gearfree's in the main, and if you get into a grind game 9 times out of 10, you don't need to go back into this part of the engine. You just need to get your Gearfree and go into Baron. You typically don't need more than that because it's just not it's not helpful. But her effect to grab that field spell, especially when it gets cleared, is clutch, especially if you don't have recursion. So that's another access to field spell. That's why I only run 2. And then the links, it's going to be Appaloosa, Little Knight, 2 copies of Isolde, and this, and 2 copies of the main Charles. I need that extra quarter century if anybody's got it. And yeah, so it's really easy to make Appaloosa. Unfortunately, you can't do it too well within 5 summons if you want to go the Appaloosa route, but you can bait out the Nibiru before Appo, and if they don't, then you can just make the Appo, and you can just keep extending past it with your normal combo, so it really doesn't matter. And then Little Knight, it's the best card in the format right now, and it's a warrior, so it works just whenever you're warrior locked, and you can make it with your he sold, this card's busted, it gets add, and you can send 4, you can send however many you want, depending on the situation. And it's an easy Little Knight make with that as well. And it can get you gear freed in situations where you have a grind game. It's really for skill drain. It's the Power Load Ogre. It can pop 4 on field, triple itself, and then you can get yourself into a simplified game state if you feel like you're losing the back row.
Can it be destroyed by card effects?
These 2 linked ones are broken. It just does so much spell trap negates, pop effects, and it can add any equips from graveyard every end phase. It's busted.
It does not.
Yeah, soft ones per turns are awesome.
It doesn't
Well,
search Mirror Force.
congratulations. This your second or
That's my first.
first? Well, congratulations. Thank you for letting me get that profile on the channel.